welcome to Wizznotes.com Mathematics Video Tutorials. This video tutorial is on computation quiz number 1 solutions. Okay, let's get started. Question 1. Question 1 asks us to simplify 20 minus 2, that's in brackets, plus 12 divided by 4 multiplied by 3. Now in approaching arithmetic operations, the rule of thumb is to firstly recall the acronym that states how we should approach it. That acronym is BOMDAS. So let's look at the solution. So using BOMDAS, we know that the first thing that we should solve in the arithmetic operation is the brackets. Why? Because BOMDAS stands for brackets, then orders are like powers, square roots, etc. Then multiplication, then division, addition, then subtraction. So the first thing we solve in the arithmetic operation is the brackets. And 20 minus 2, that gives us 18. Put back our plus sign, and the next thing we do is our division. But you'll be wondering why division and BOMDAS said multiplication before division. Well, actually, BOMDAS does go on to say that the multiplication and divisions are done in the order they appear from left to right. So that basically means if a division comes before a multiplication from left to right, then we do the division, then the multiplication. Okay? So in this case, since the division comes before the multiplication, we do the division first. So for back our plus sign, I will say, okay, 12 divided by 4, and then we'll multiply that by 3. So the next step, we go down and we say, okay, yeah, we already solved what's in the bracket. That's 18. Back our plus sign. Oh, for the first part, we just did right. The 12 with the 4, we never divide it. So now we divide it. We say, okay, 12 divided by 4, that is 3. And we're going to multiply that by 3. So we'll say multiply by 3. Next step, we actually carry out the multiplication. So that's 18 plus 3 times 3, that is 9. And then now we can add these two. So we'll say, okay, 18 plus 9. That's 27. And 27 is the answer for question 1. Okay, let's go on to question 2. Question 2 asks us to calculate the exact value of this nice arithmetic operation. So in carrying out this operation, the best way to approach it is to break it down into 2 parts. We'll do this by looking at the numerator first, then the denominator, and then we'll find the sum of what is in the numerator. We divide that by the sum of what is in the denominator. Alright, let's look at it. So look at the numerator first. We realize, okay, in the numerator I had 3 over 5 multiplied by, in brackets, 1 over 3 plus 2 over 4. So using BOMDAS again, remember BOMDAS is the rule that governs all arithmetic operations. We know that what we're going to do first is the brackets, solve what's in the brackets. So in the brackets we'll have 1 over 3 plus 2 over 4. So they want us to add 2 fractions. Now when we're adding fractions, we have 2 ways you can approach it. If the denominators are the same, we could add the numerators. But in this case, the denominators aren't the same. So whenever the denominators aren't the same, we'll have to use what is called the LCM. Now the LCM is the smallest number that both denominators can be divided into without leaving a remainder. And the lowest number that 3 and 4 can be divided into without leaving a remainder is 12. So I'll say, alright, cool. 12 is the LCM. Put down 12. We draw a line. And then we're going to divide each of the denominators into the LCM and multiply it by the respective numerators. Alright, let's look. So I'll say, alright, cool. 12, draw a line. 3 into 12, which is the first denominator. 3 into 12. 4 times, write down 4. And then we'll multiply that 4 by the numerator, which is 1. Multiply by 1. I'll put back a plus sign. Now we'll say 4 into 12, that's 3 times, write 3. Now we'll multiply that 3 by the numerator, which is 2. So okay, 3 times 2. Now we'll say, alright. That leads us to 4 times 1 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6. That's 4 plus 6 over the LCM, which is 12, and that equals to 10 over 12. So now that we have what is in the brackets, The next step is to multiply that by 3 over 5. So we have 3 over 5 multiplied by 10 over 12. Now in carrying out this multiplication, what we decided to do was to cancel it first. So in canceling, what that basically means is to divide, or to break down the fractions by dividing either a denominator by a numerator or a numerator by a denominator. So looking at this fraction, we realize that cool, 3 can be divided into 12. So what we do is we say 3 into 3, that goes 1 time. 3 into 12, that goes 4 times. Then we realize that the 5 can be divided into 10. So we say, okay, cool, 5 into 5, 1 time. 5 into 10, 2 times. And then we say, okay, 2 times 1, that's equal to 2. 4 times 4, 4 times 1, that's equal to 4. So that's 2 over 4. But 2 over 4 can be divided down, can be cancelled even further. So what we did was to cancel it down further, which is 2 into 2 goes 1 time, 2 into 4 goes 2 times, that equals to a half. So now that we know that the total of what's in the numerator is equal to a half, we can go on to the denominator. So let's look at the denominator. The denominator in the problem was, in arithmetic operation, was 8 over 6 minus 2 over 3 plus a half. Now let's recall BOMDAS. So looking at this, we know that we have two operations to do, a subtraction and an addition. And BOMDAS tells us that we should always do the addition before the subtraction. So let's work on the addition first. Now we're adding two fractions, and again, the denominators aren't the same. So we have to find the LCM for the denominators. And the LCM, which is the lowest number that both 3 and 2 can be divided into without leaving a remainder, is 6. So write 6 and we draw a line above 6. I will say, okay, the first denominator, which is 3, goes into 6 2 times. I will multiply 2 by the numerator, which is 2. So I'll put 2 in bracket. We'll put back our plus sign and we'll say, okay, 2, which is the second denominator, goes into the LCM, which is 6, 3 times. We write 3. I will multiply that 3 by the numerator, which is 1. Put the 1 in bracket. And that equals to 2 times 2, that is 4. 3 times 1, that is 3. It equals to 7 over 6. So now that we know what the addition yields, then we can go to the subtraction part. So we can say, okay, 8 over 6 minus 7 over 6. And then now, since the denominators are the same, we can just subtract the numerators. So what we do is say, okay, what we do is to say, okay, 8 minus 7, I will put all that over 6. And that equals to 1 over 6. So that is the total of the denominator. So now that we know the numerator value, which is a half, and we know the denominator value, which is 1/6, then we can divide them. So let's go to the next slide. So I have a half over 1 over 6. Now when we're dividing two fractions, the process is to invert the fraction that is doing the division, doing the dividing. So in this case, we want 1 over 6 to the dividing, right? So when you invert a fraction, what that basically means is turn the denominator into the numerator and the numerator into the denominator. And then after inverting it, what we do is to multiply the two fractions. So let's look. So okay, half multiplied by 6 over 1. Remember, the 6, the denominator becomes the numerator, and the 1, which is numerator, becomes the denominator. And the next process, or the next step, is to cancel these fractions. So we'll say, alright, cool, 1 and 1 can't cancel anymore. But we know that 2 can go into 6. So it's okay, 2 into 2, 1 times, 2 into 3, that's 3 times. And 3 times 1 is equal to 3. 1 times 1 is 1. Remember, 1 into 3 goes 3 times, so we just can write a 3. Okay? So 3 is the answer for number 2. Remember, guys, you can always go over my explanations if I'm moving too fast, or you can just look at the slides in your free time, which will be provided. All right, let's go on to number 3.